storytellers, welcome to my channel. Once upon a time in Spain, there was a little bull and his name was Ferdinand. Ferdinand liked to sit quietly and smell the flowers. He had a favorite spot under the cock tree. The other little bulls who grew up with him would just jump and butt their heads together, but not Ferdinand. His mother would say, "Why don't you play with the other little bulls?" He would say, "No, Mom, I like it better here." When Ferdinand grew up, he was very strong, but he still liked to sit quietly and smell the flowers. But the other little bulls who grew up with him in the same pasture would fight all day and night just so they could be the best. So the men who would come and pick them. So then one day, 5 men with very funny hats came to pick the fiercest bull of them, just the perfect one for the bullfights in Madrid. All the bulls started pawing the ground and jumping and snorting so the men would pick them. But Ferdinand didn't care and he went to sat down in his favorite spot. Instead of sitting in his favorite spot, he sat on a bumblebee. Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat you, what would you do? You would sting him, and it's just what this bee did to Ferdinand. Ferdinand jumped up with a snort, running and pawing the ground as if he was crazy. The 5 men saw him and they shouted with joy. Here was the largest and the fiercest bull all of them. Just the perfect one for the bullfights in Madrid. So Ferdinand was taken in a cart. What a lovely day it was. Bands were playing and all the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair. First came the banderillos with long sharp pins with ribbons on them to stick in the bull and make the bull mad. Next came the picado. They rode skinny horses and had long spears to stick in the bull and make the bull madder. Next came the picado, and he thought he was very handsome and he bowed to the ladies. He had a cape and a sword and was supposed to stick the bull last of all. Then came the bull, and you know who was that, don't you? Ferdinand! They called him Ferdinand the Fierce. Ferdinand ran to the middle of the ring and all the people clapped and shouted because they thought he was going to fight fiercely and stick his horns around. But when Ferdinand saw the flowers in all the lovely ladies' hair, he sat down quietly and smelled the flowers. He would not fight no matter what they did. The banderillos were mad, the picados were madder, and the matador was so mad that he cried because he couldn't show off its cape and sword. So they had to take Ferdinand home. And for all I know is that Ferdinand is still sitting in his favorite spot under the cock tree and smelling the flowers quietly. He's very happy. Thank you for watching today's video, and if you liked it, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to ring that little bell. That's it for today's video. Bye everyone. meet you in my next video.